All right, we're on, boys. Us. Welcome to Feed 'em, Bra. Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
There we go.
Sorry
we
about that.
Officially started.
Jumped the gun there,
I
mate.
did jump the gun. I'm just a bit fucking. I'm pretty pumped up, man.
Pumped up. You've put a little shirt on. You were rocking around before a singlet.
Well, do you want me to go sleeveless again?
Well, it could help with the views.
It could help. Yeah. All right. And it's a Redfern electrical singlet.
Yeah. So shout out for Crookshank.
Yeah. It's hard to
He's
take.
looking a bit tanned, isn't he?
I've been
Garnham?
soaking up the sun. I've been absolutely. If you're not, this is why you got to get on the YouTube, everyone.
Yeah, you get on the YouTube, you can see Zack's arms.
See my arms, my singlet, my tan.
Jump on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're looking good. You've been gymming it?
I've been going to the gym. I haven't been for a little while actually, but I was going pretty consistently.
And if you're wondering who is that voice?
Who's that
just
mystery?
Absolutely gassing Zack up.
Yeah,
Just gassing.
that's why I was
him up.
excited. I knew Lewis was going to compliment me.
Yeah,
Your one was a bonus.
Yeah, welcome back to the pod, the wonderful Lewis Garnham. How are you, brother?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm good. I'm more than happy. I sort of follow Zack around, just being his hype man. It's like a side hustle that I've got. He pays me like a small amount
Really
of money.
poorly.
Yeah.
Not very
really
much.
poorly.
I do it for
I
the love
owe
of the
Lewis
job.
a lot of money.
Yeah, it's just the payment enough having a look at the arms,
it's
the tan.
it's more of a passion project.
Fresh fashion, yeah. But that's good to have on a resume, man.
Yeah. Zacky D's hype man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good quality to have in an office.
The hype.
The
man.
hype man. Sometimes is always just geeing everyone up.
Totally. Yeah. I think the hype man is never fully respected by people, though. I would say.
No.
You know, if you're constantly hyping everyone else up, no one respects.
It is
you.
it is inherently pathetic.
There's a bit
behavior.
There's a
But it
pathetic
is
energy.
nice to
But you
be
still
hyped
cop
up.
it. Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, you notice it when they don't.
Oh, yeah,
like,
big time.
Excuse me?
Well, yeah. To be the one person that doesn't get hyped up by the hype man, you're like,
Yeah.
what have
Well,
I
that's the
done
power
wrong?
a hype man has.
Exactly. Yeah.
They can alienate people very easily.
Why isn't he fucking sucking me off today?
Yeah.
What the hell? What have
Fuck
I done?
Yeah.
What the fuck did I do? I've done nothing and I expect incredible praise. Like always. Unbelievable.
Well, thanks for coming on, Lewis.
Thanks for having me, boys.
We got you on because me and Hewitt have been having like a bit of a debate over the past few weeks, and you seem to know a lot about it. Hewitt, he's been saying like, they're doing what they need to do. It's like got to be done, and I've been saying like, I'm just hoping for peace and like
Where
the
is
possibility
this
of like
going?
a two-state solution.
No.
What are you? No, I'm just.
Well, yes. So, but that's a good type of guy. That Garnham, God bless you. You're in there now. The TikTok politics guy.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a big TikTok
Yeah.
video politics kind of.
Must be an absolute nightmare in there sometimes.
It's in the comments.
Yeah.
It's an absolute nightmare.
Because I had one video get like a lot of comments, and it lived inside my head for months.
What do you mean, like the comments?
The comments that I
hate?
would get, yeah.
Yeah.
I got and it wasn't even, most of the comments were people defending me against like sort of a few hateful ones.
But
did
the
took
hateful
off.
ones stick in your head?
Yeah, I was like, I wanted to find that person and kill him.
That's, you got to turn the other cheek, bro.
Yeah, I know.
You
It's
need to
hard.
find peace.
Do you get bad ones? You get, because you talk about like real shit.
This is like pretty psycho of me. But one time, me and my girlfriend, like, months ago or whatever, we were driving down the coast, and I thought for a second, like, she's got a really old car, and this car full of dudes was like staring at me. She'd gone in to get Hungry Jacks or something, and they were like staring at me, and like in retrospect they were just fucking looking at her car, but like they were in this ute and they were staring at me, and I'd posted a video like the day before that had got like a lot of hate, like heaps and heaps of hate, and and I was like, well, that's weird, like maybe they recognize me from the video. And then we were driving away from that Hungry Jacks, and it got dark, and that same car, just by coincidence, they were going the same fucking direction as us, whatever, but they were, you know, when there's a car on you for ages, and like you sort of, you know, we probably did like 200 Ks on the highway, couple turns, like, and they were still on me, and I just started spiraling, and I didn't say anything
Lewis's
for ages.
transition from political TikToks to gang stalking TikToks.
Yeah.
And in my head, I was like, right, so when they do eventually get us to pull over, like, who am I hitting first? Like, how do I defend myself?
Cool.
Like, have you ever seen?
Cool. That's awesome. That's an awesome type of guy as well. Where they're like, you know, wives. It's just like American Wives. They'll be like, my hubby always checking the door is my alpha wolf.
You
know,
on the roadside.
Garnham knows all the exits. Knows like
absolutely,
tactically.
But I'm the kind of guy that like, you know, if it came down to it, I would be so shit in that scenario.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Be like, guys, come on.
Just chill.
Yeah,
just chill.
The best,
man.
the best, the best would be like, you're just like, guys, I know you've seen my TikToks. What the fuck are you talking? We just wanted to bash you, dude.
Yeah, you just look like a fuckhead.
Yeah.
We want to bash
just look like an annoying.
Well, my theory this is my theory, because I've met your girlfriend. She's a very beautiful woman. Maybe they were looking at you, thinking like, they were all staring at you, thinking like, how the fuck?
It honestly could have been that. That's like probably the most likely fucking scenario.
She's got a cool car, and she's riding this big fucking idiot.
Yeah, that's
what is going on.
And I'm in
and
the
then
car,
like, and it's the cunt from the TikToks we had.
Yeah, one of them's in the back like, and he's also a fuckhead on TikTok. But yeah, I didn't get bashed, and it was all good. I think I'm I don't really look at it anymore. Some people like reply to all the comments and shit, like, you know, with comebacks and everything. It's like,
that's cool.
hell.
And you post all the comebacks. And
It could be bothered.
Yeah, that's a good. It's funny when stand-up comedians do that. They do like.
Don't say I'm rattled. I'm not.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it's hard. It fucking rattles you. I hate when people don't like what I do.
Yeah. Totally
Pisses me off.
Yeah.
That's the type of guy, like the comedian that puts like the shit review, or even like just like a comment from someone that hates them on their poster. Like, you know, like 0 stars, The Age, like, or like, this is the worst comedy ever, The Age. Like, come see how shit it is. Like, see if I care. I'll put it on my fucking poster.
I don't give a fuck.
I fucking don't even care, man.
I don't even give a shit, man.
I love it, man. I'm just me.
Yeah, love me or hate me. Garnham, are you holding a little microphone these days on your videos?
No, I actually had a conversation with Greg Larson recently. Where he was
Greg
like,
hates that.
He was like,
awesome.
I was like, oh, I'm coming to your show tomorrow night, and he like sort of, he like kind of like embarrassed. He was like, we were chatting for like another 20 minutes, and then 20 minutes later, he'd obviously been like stewing on it, and then he was like, hey, by the way, like, oh, you know, you're coming to my show tomorrow night, but like, you don't, when you make TikToks, like, you don't hold one of those little microphones, do you? And I was like, nah, like, why? And he was like, oh, I was just worried, like, there's a bit in my show, and I just didn't want you to think it was about you. And then I saw his show the next night, and he was just fucking ragging on those people.
That's
like, it was
so
hilarious.
funny.
And it was so good. Like, he's just worried that I would be like offended. Like, oh, he's talking
It
about
is
me,
fucking
blah, blah,
funny.
blah.
Greg's
They hold the
He's
lapel
so
mic.
funny.
Greg
Yeah,
nails
yeah.
it. He's like, why are you holding the lapel? And he's like, and don't make it seem like, oh, because it's like, they're far more expensive than a normal mic. Like, he's like, you're not like
You're trying
lo-fi
to seem
fucking.
like, totally. Like casual. Like, oh, just
The
a
best
little
is when they
lapel.
put it on some fucking thing. You know, I think there's ones in New York that are very viral where they put them on
a
their,
plastic
like,
water
subway
bottle or
cards or whatever,
whatever.
whatever their version of
Totally.
my keys are.
Yeah.
And they do interviews, and then I see just guns are like, I got them on a ruler, and you're like, it's not gonna be your thing.
Yeah.
Oh, the ruler with the lapel mic guy.
I just reckon like the phone speaker or microphone or whatever is pretty fucking good.
Yeah,
these
they're not
days.
bad.
Yeah, they've done a good job with phones, for sure.
That's a good podcast topic. Let's break that down. They've done a really good job.
Well, they keep getting back. Seeing the cameras on them these days.
Yeah.
Bloody unreal.
Yeah.
If we had that back in the day, mate.
Yeah.
We filmed some of the fucking disgusting shit that we did back in the day that put us in jail.
Yeah, put us in jail, mate. If they were bloody smartphones back when I was,
they
mate.
would fucking tie us in a bag and throw us in the river.
Speaking of this shit, this is actually one we didn't cover. Did you guys see the GWS guys getting done for Mad Monday?
What did they do?
Oh, they dressed up as Nazis or something?
No, they
really?
the best was, so they all did like inappropriate costumes, but the thing that got them in trouble is like they just like put on, which is, the people crave the Big Huey's Footy Show because they put on like little plays.
Yeah.
So they each like did little
they?
sketches. Yeah.
Did
So one of
they?
them was like Jared Hayne and the cabbie and blow up doll in the back of his cab. It was a lot of like sex ones and stuff. But they
Everyone, this is another
they-
theory, mate. Everyone's a fucking comedian these days.
yeah.
know?
That's the
Yeah.
problem with this sketch online comedy culture is everyone thinks they need to be a creator.
Totally. I'll
And
be the inspired unemployed.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, God, who amongst us? Would I rather? These AFL guys. Like, I wish I was in a 3-hand sketch group instead. Talking about what blokes do at the pub. It's like what I would give. Throw away my AFL contract so I could be things your mates don't say when you're putting on a bet.
Yeah.
That's higher than being an AFL player nowadays.
Yeah.
Well, they both could potentially lead to having your own beer brand.
Now that is awesome, man.
Totally.
It's two
I'd
different
love
paths,
to have
same destination.
Yeah. The logo of the beer is just like some bloke where like you don't know if he's like it's a photo of this bloke. You don't know if he's like had 12 beers or if he's got like that fucking CTE or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's like the and it's like has he just been knocked out or has he had 12 beers?
Yeah, it's cool. It's really cool. Just find this tweet now. This tweet really got me. This is Dane Swan, ex-AFL player.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
I'll see if I can find it. It'll probably be a fair way back now, but
You've rooted a few AFL players, haven't you, Garnham? Oh, you don't want to talk about that?
Nah, not
No, fair enough. If you don't want to,
not on the pod.
Yeah. I know, that's
AFLM or AFLW?
Hey, what's the fucking difference, mate?
Yeah,
Queenslander!
Gay AFL, mate. That's what they bloody call it. Bear with me. I've got to find if anyone. He tweets a lot of shit. This is so annoying. Basically, it was along the lines of.
So Dane Swan is he like a big Twitter head now?
Yeah, I think he's like loves a take.
He's got hot fingers,
Yeah.
hot thumbs.
But basically, it was along the lines of, "I'm sorry, is that what we're doing now? Seriously?" And then he goes, "The bartender who ratted, doing that at a private." Oh, here we go. Yeah.
Yes.
You have to kind of hope these this is before the facts all came out. You have to kind of hope these GWS boys have sacrificed a live goat or something at the pub, because these punishments are ridiculous for what is being told right now. Also, the bartender who ratted them deserves jail time. All-time disgusting thing to do at a private event. Now that's awesome.
Yeah, but
ratting
what
on the
were they
boys.
actually doing? Because I want to decide on
I
my
don't
judgment
reckon
of the
killing
bartender.
a goat's that bad. I reckon I
Yeah.
don't even know what they were doing, but I reckon what they were doing is probably worse than
All
fucking
right,
killing a goat.
I'll find what the GWS players were doing.
I want to hear about these little sketches.
Yeah.
But the one
It's so funny to
was
be
it
like,
Nazi stuff? Was it?
No,
That's still wild. Like,
I think.
but it was the theme was inappropriate costumes. Is that?
Yeah.
That's you're playing with
that's-
fire.
I
yeah.
love that, like, we're talking about like political TikTok and all this shit before, but I love that like Dane Swan's like putting all his like his passionate like speech is about like if you rat on the boys when they're mucking around,
He's like,
you
these
should
bar-
go to jail.
These
Like, if a
bartenders
group
making
of boys-
27 an hour should be held to like
Yeah.
legal
Totally.
standards.
Yeah.
and
12 years jail.
Yeah. It's
minimum
like they're
6
like
years without
members of
parole.
the mafia. These fucking minimum wage bartenders that are copping absolute grief having to work the
Yeah.
private AFL function.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like-
Imagine working that.
They could have
fucking
done
shift.
anything.
Yeah.
The bartenders that night were just probably waiting for any little chance to fuck these guys
Yeah.
over because they were sick of dealing with them.
Okay.
Like, fuck these cunts.
Fuck. I mean, they were asking for trouble. The theme of the night was controversial couples, with players dressing up and some performing skits.
Great.
Fringe player dressed as former NRL player Jared Hayne, who was jailed for rape before the conviction.
Can I
was
guess a few more?
Jesus.
Yep.
There's got to be Ghislaine and Jeffrey.
I think there was. These aren't all in
yes.
order, but
Will and Jada, maybe?
Fucking, was there any sort of P. Diddy reference?
Oh, this one's crazy. One of the players who's of Ghanaian descent and Whitfield, another player, reenacted a scene from the film Django Unchained, which the AFL said characterised slavery. Now that one's pretty hot.
Jesus.
These bartenders should be fucking
Yeah.
jailed.
Swanee's like, it's just a bit of fun.
He's black. He gets
Mucking
it.
around. Yeah. He was
He
laughing.
wanted to. Well, they fucking acted in it.
Yeah.
They made the fucking movie.
Should Tarantino be in trouble?
Yeah. Another player dressed as Josh Giddey was investigated for having a relationship with him.
Oh, that was all clear though. He's all good.
Joe Fonte came as the girl, so that's good.
Wait, what was that? So who's Josh Giddey?
He's an NBA
basketball player.
Australian
Yeah.
NBA player. That
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
Who was lied to?
He was lied to. Yeah, so there's some really good stuff. Yeah, the Django Unchained one's pretty
That's
good.
so red hot.
And
Fucking
what
hell.
punishment did they get?
They're all like missing like 2 months or something crazy.
Whoa.
So GWS should have a good, strong team the first few weeks.
They lost the grand final too.
No, they
didn't.
Well, that was the
knocked out
Swans.
this
They didn't
year.
make
Yeah. So you know, it's a real like, God, can the boys not be boys anymore?
Yeah.
Can the boys
See,
not
what-
reenact
What I think,
slave scenes?
It's just like,
After a tough
it is
season.
the everyone's a comedian. That's the fucking problem. Like,
That is the problem.
It's-
Yeah, I
your
mean, it
footy
is.
players-
It is awesome that they sort of crave vaudeville.
yeah,
You know, like the
Yeah.
everyone wants to put on a little show.
Totally.
Yeah, that is
Sort of-
very funny.
They sort of have
That's sick.
they sort of have the energy of like, you know, you'll go to like family functions or whatever with young kids, and they all want everyone to like stop, and they'll put on a little play for you.
Yeah.
And the AFL players did that, and they were like, "Look, stop!" And they got everyone
We've got an
around. And
idea.
now look,
yeah, this will be
because
funny.
he's black. All right, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
be Leo. He's gonna be Django.
Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah.
yeah, that
Yeah,
was
that's good.
okay.
Yeah.
Good one.
Maybe you
Thank
haven't
you,
seen
guys.
it. Yeah.
I wonder if it
Django.
probably killed in the room.
I reckon.
Oh,
yeah.
that'd be
I reckon
probably
the
big
bar
laughs.
staff maybe didn't love it.
Yeah. Well,
Wow.
obviously not.
Well,
Yeah.
fucking, then they should be in prison for
But
not
they
fucking
should-
having fun,
Yeah.
mate.
When they did snitch on him, they should have put in the report whether it killed in the room or not.
Totally.
Because you're taking it out
yeah,
of context, you know? If everyone at the party's, they're having a good time, it's well
Yeah,
received, but, what's the issue?
Yeah, shame. You'd love to see a bit of footage.
Oh, fuck.
Swanee's like there's these like ex-footy players or footy players. They're like I'm fascinated by like the types of footballer. Even when you watch a game and just physically, like there's Collingwood have a lot of like these shovel head. They're big in NRL actually. Like these, like their heads just look like you could dig a hole.
Oh,
They're like got sharp, like kind of like those pit bull like American terriers with like the flat face.
The bull, like the classic bull
Yeah,
terrier. with the big-
yeah. Like Collingwood's got they're like breeding them in Collingwood. Like
Yeah.
I reckon, like Nathan Buckley, I reckon he's like the
he's got
original
he's got a real
shovelhead.
sharp head, yeah.
And then he like just started breeding them out, and now they got like the Degoe. They got a bunch of these shovelheads.
Yeah, or like the selectors. Or
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I
fuck,
They're
we've
like,
got
we need
something
more
here.
shovelheads.
They've
yeah.
gone into, what do they call that? When this is Django sort of stuff, when they like would study the.
Oh yeah.
What's that called again?
Yeah, with the calipers.
Yeah.
When you do,
Yeah, study
Collingwood
those
doing that.
blokes.
Yeah.
And looking for shovel
They're
heads.
sort of
Yeah.
like, yeah,
That's sort of coming back.
Yeah, yeah. Or like the
race science.
the
sort of stuff.
looks maxing stuff. Where they're like they tell you how far your eyes should be apart to be good looking.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, also, I forgot that a couple of the tour guys went as the World Trade Centers, which isn't bad.
I mean, it's not all bad.
That's not
pretty
bad.
funny.
I reckon it's on whoever who's ever in charge of these cunts. As soon as they saw the idea for the costume theme, controversial couples, be like, this is going to get some of these cunts in
absolutely.
trouble.
Yeah.
They should have known.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
I mean, the
great
Twin
stuff.
Towers. That's out of the box too. Like, I don't mind that one.
That's great.
But it's good. It's like, you get the AFL, you get the year, you get the season, you get the finals, and then every year you get on Mad Monday, you get a story, and it's like a nice tradition.
yeah.
Like someone does something crook every Mad
Well, the
Monday.
NRL,
and
it's like
nice.
there's two seasons. There's the season where they play footy, and there's the seasons where they play up. It's sick.
Yeah, that's already off to a flyer. One of the Broncos players crashed a car on coke, so that's
Classic.
good.
Classic.
Yeah, that's.
It's not great.
I
It's
think
not
you
ideal.
should be able to drive better on coke.
Well, he doesn't have a
imagine
license.
how much
so
he crashes when he's not on
he
coke.
he can't drive sober, I don't think, either. He doesn't have a license, so
Really?
that
Yeah,
doesn't
right.
help.
Well, if you're gonna fucking do it, you might as well. Go
Yeah,
with it.
yeah.
a
I
bit more
mean,
confident.
let's take. Like, I think we're blaming the wrong thing here. Like the coke is not the thing that fucking caused the crash.
No,
Like,
Just the car.
leave the coke out of it. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Well,
You can't
every time
drive.
this comes up, which is a lot, I would say, it's not that hard to download the Uber app. It's really not.
Yeah.
I don't,
Although, where was he?
I don't know.
If he was on the Sunshine Coast, I get it.
True.
Uber on Sunshine Coast fucking
True.
sucks dick.
That's true. Yeah,
It's
you got to
not
think
good.
about that.
You need. It's like you go into like a Southeast Asian country or something. Like when you go to the Sunny Coast, you need to find a driver, find a cabbie, get his personal number.
Yeah, and
And then
call
him at 4 a.m, fucking
Yeah.
off your nut. And be like, can you come get us and drive us 2 kilometers? Yes, everything's so fucking close. In Noosa anyway.
Man, I did a gig in Albury a few weeks ago, and I had a fucking asthma attack at like 3 a.m. in my like
What are you,
motel
10
room.
years old? Who has an asthma
No.
attack?
Yeah.
It's fucking embarrassing. I was laying in bed, I woke up, and I was like, fuck, I just can't breathe. And like, I couldn't be fucked doing anything about it. Didn't have a puffer. And then eventually I had to get a taxi to the airport, and that was a nightmare. Similar thing. Like I was like calling all these cabs, and eventually like just spoke to a bloke who was just like, yeah, I'll come pick you up. Picked me up and then drove to the hospital. I wasn't in Albury, I was in Wagga. But it was funny, like I went into the emergency and I was just like, I'm having an asthma attack, I need a puffer. But I don't need anything else. Like, just give me the puffer and then I'll be fine.
Yeah.
And in Melbourne, this has happened to me before. And like, they're always like, yeah, but you do have to see a doctor because like you're saying you can't breathe. We got to do the right thing, the paperwork and shit.
Yeah.
Gotta see. And this woman in Wagga was just like, do you promise you won't die? And I was like, yeah. I
Hell
swear.
yeah.
And then she just gave me the puffer.
Sick.
And then I just walked
Slung
out.
your Ventolin and
She's
said,
so
fucking
sick.
on your
Yeah,
way.
and I just had like 20 hits on the Ventolin, went back to bed.
Yeah.
Was
I
that?
like
That's
that.
good country service.
I like that. That's like what I like about the country. It's just
Yeah.
like straight up and down, you know?
And then she's in
They're
the clear
fucking
because if
around.
you did die, she'd be like, well, he promised. He
Exactly. He said he wouldn't. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
His fault.
Yeah, she's dotted her
wouldn't. Yeah.
fucking eyes and
He gave me one of these.
yeah.
Your Honor. Your Honor.
Yeah, it was a
And in
pinky.
Wagga Court, that's
The man
That's
Oh
all
promised.
yeah,
on board.
absolutely.
The man promised, okay? It's fine. Do you ever get... What about those... Do you ever get caught up in those ones in Melbourne where there's like... Overnight and there's like 500 asthma attacks?
Yeah, they're the ones.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
it's like when
deadly.
there's some form of
That-
pollen just
they're happening at
fucked
the
everyone
moment.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like that.
Be
That's
careful.
whenever you read one of those stories, I've had a shit.
you one of
night.
those?
Yeah, I'm one of those.
Right. Yeah, that was a real bad one a couple of years ago. Like
Yeah.
one day, like thunderstorm. Something about when there's like thunderstorm, the low pressure and the right pollen in the air.
That's
will
it.
just
So it's
fucking
like this time of
destroy
year,
people.
spring, and then it's a hot day like today, and then if a thunderstorm came tonight, it'd be on.
Yeah,
Game
right.
on. Yeah.
They charge you for an ambulance in Victoria. Do you know that?
Yeah, that's fucked.
Yeah, do you have your little cover?
Nah.
Tully's always on me like,
I
have
got-
you paid your... It's like $50 a year or something. But
Yeah.
I'm always like,
But yeah, that's why I don't know if I have that or not. And I was like, I'm not fucking getting an ambulance to the hospital just to have a hit on some fucking Ventolin.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? So I got a taxi. But it's just a weird thing to do at 3 a.m. Get a taxi to emergency, like completely sober. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's just
What
like,
did you
what am
talk
I
to the
doing?
cabbie about?
I just sort of
Like-
explained what I was doing. And he was like, oh, yeah, right. And then he drove a bit quicker.
I had asthma when I was a kid. I only remember one of my asthma attacks. And it was just in the morning. I couldn't eat my Wheat Bix because I couldn't stop coughing.
Man, that's
no.
just the Wheat Bix. I don't reckon you had asthma.
Yeah,
Those
that's
things
it.
fucking, they're so dry.
No,
They're like-
I milked them up. What do you
Right.
think? You think I'm seeing the fucking
I reckon
dry
you
Weet
under
Bix?
milked them.
No,
I reckon you
no.
under milked
Yeah,
them
you
and you
gotta be
thought it was
careful.
asthma, but it's just
No,
that's a dry Wheat Bix.
I used to fucking punish Wheat Bix as a kid.
Yeah,
It was
I
my
can
staple
imagine.
food. Fucking
I
lot.
can see.
Poor
How many?
fucking-
How many did you do?
Oh, I did heaps, man. like 5, I think. By
Yeah.
the time I stopped, maybe 5 or 6. By the
You're
time I
talking
gave
about it
them up.
like it's a fucking.
That'd be it. That'd
like
be
a
it.
cigarette habit.
Yeah, it's like it's a point.
Yeah, yeah.
I used to do about 5 a week.
But I'd put
when I was
fucking
at my
probably
worst.
30 grams of sugar on top of the cunts. Like
Yeah.
thinking back
Oh, yeah.
now that I know like more about the weights of powders and stuff, like the amount of sugar I would put on those
Yeah.
fucking Wheat Bix was
It's
a
like-
lot.
It's like Connell talking to Nighty about trying to put on more muscle, and he's like, well, mate, I still have pretty good breakfast, 4 or 5 Weet-Bix at night. He's like, 5 Weet-Bix at 40? He's like, what the fuck? What do you think that's like good for you? He's
No,
like,
Brett Lee,
oh, my Wheatie.
Like 5
He's
slices
like, man,
of
have
bread
some eggs or
with
something.
sugar.
Like, no protein in it. He's like, yeah, right.
It's like pure
right.
wheat.
Yeah, yeah, that would be funny if you got in. We're always trying to make you get into like S&M and bondage and stuff.
Yeah.
What if you did that and they're like feeding you dry Weet-Bix and it's like, you like that?
Oh, like like
Oh,
a pain
it's
kick,
so
but
dry.
for dry.
Yeah.
Well, there was a challenge, was it? There used to be, like, obviously there was the cinnamon challenge, but I'm pretty sure there was a Weet-Bix. You can't eat a dry Weet-Bix in a minute. I think it's like physically impossible or something without any moisture. Like if you're not allowed to have any water, it's like no one's ever done it. Eat a Weet-Bix.
And Krustkits as well.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
true,
cool challenges you can do with
Love a challenge.
Yeah.
biscuits. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Pretty
like
fun.
We played a different one
The
in the
ultimate,
boarding
yeah.
school.
Was that a real thing? Did anyone ever do that? Or was it just like
I don't
It
think
was always
so.
just like a thing that got
urban
spoken
myth.
about
Yeah.
where I was.
Yeah, I think it was all like it's always been a theory more than a practice.
Yeah.
Someone thought of it and be like, wouldn't that be a crazy thing to do?
I reckon it was like it got discussed as like apparently some people do this when no one was actually doing it, but now it's been discussed so many times that like you better believe people are doing it now because it's it's fucking iconic.
Yeah, it is.
People would want to go to death saying
So
like
it's
I
like-
did it.
Well, maybe we should. I got some.
Let's
sayos
get
there, I
let's
think.
get it. Keep
That's
the camera
that's
on.
good podcasting.
So to run you through it, if you're not aware of what we're talking about, it's called a soggy sayo, right?
Yeah.
And so from what I remember, which
In
is also
South
training
Australia,
day-
we just called it soggy biscuit.
a soggy biscuit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're a
right.
bit fucking weird over there.
Yeah, they're always doing something fucking different over there.
Weird beer.
Yeah,
like-
we actually call it a Parma cheesy chicken. What?
What's the weird beer size you got?
Yeah, what are they doing with the size?
We do
Pot, pony.
we don't do pots. We do pints, but then we have imperial pints, which are bigger, and then we do schooners, which are different to the size of schooners they have in New South Wales and here.
What?
Yeah,
so you
you
got
can't
two
s-
different pints and
And a
Sure.
fucking
Yeah, we
some
got-
rogue
you get a
schooner.
pint or an
Oh.
imperial pint, and then I think our schooner size is different, and
And
then we don't have pots.
Imperial pint, is that bigger?
Yeah, massive.
pure
mate.
pints like a standard.
But I think
pint.
it's just a pint here.
Right.
Yeah.
And
then
then
you-
your
Which is
other
a bit
pint's probably a
pathetic.
schooner.
Bit
Come
pathetic.
try and do that. A lot of pubs do that here. You ask for a pint and
Definitely,
they'll give you a
yeah,
schooner.
yeah.
Charge you fucking 24 bucks.
100%. Yeah, that shit wouldn't fly in Queensland.
No, I mean
No, they don't do pints in Queensland.
No, it's too hot.
It's too hot. Yeah.
Ah, true.
Yeah, seasoned drinkers in Queensland, they all drink pots.
Pots, yeah. I mean, fuck, I like that. I'll bring that over here.
Yeah.
I'd much rather have 10 pots than 5
Healthy.
pints.
Yeah, I mean, I'll
Healthy.
take it however it's coming.
Yeah. Sorry. Soggy
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, so I
Soggy
forgot what we-
biscuit if
yeah.
you're from Adelaide.
Yeah.
You what? Oh, did you guys want to move on? Did you?
No, I completely
I
forgot.
got it.
I was trying to remember
No, sorry.
what we
I'm trying to
fucking
get
just-
it back to this
I'm
important
really
topic.
glad you brought it.
Yeah.
I was like,
I
oh,
was
thank
lost.
God.
I was
Yeah.
completely
I
fucking
knew we were
lost.
onto something
this
good,
is,
but
this
I
is
lost
actually
it.
this is all framed around. I'll tell you a great type of guy, type of fella, and that is like someone that I guess more teenage, but there still goes. This sort of leads into a guy that's like obsessed and thinks it's really funny and cool and like the edge of stuff to know like all the terms like dirty Sanchez and the
100%.
gecko.
Yeah,
And,
And,
like,
like,
2 girls, 1 cup.
Yeah,
Let me
yeah,
show you
yeah.
Eel Girl. Let me
Arabian
show you all
goggles.
these fuck videos.
Yeah. They know all the like fucking hilarious sex terms, bro.
Yeah.
And like, it's actually, I've done it with a chick. It's like, have you? I don't think you've had sex, man, let alone done the fucking.
I think that's assault.
Yeah. You told, and then yeah. Like,
Totally.
really moment in time, that stuff,
Yeah,
early
yeah.
internet stuff.
Yeah.
But the soggy say what you'll get in a circle, and then the last one to comes on it loses and has to eat it.
Yeah.
Which is really.
I wonder
just,
if you still have to come on it. You know, like everyone's going, and then like you
Oh.
say you with 3 other
So
guys.
you got to make yourself come whilst also knowing that
you
you're
have
about
to eat it. Yeah,
the
that's
biscuit.
got to be a head fuck.
Yeah, I mean
It's-
that's gonna fucking create some of that.
But could also you
masochistic
could
shit.
probably use that to your advantage. Like,
Yeah.
oh, sorry boys, I can't finish. Can we pick this up another time?
Yeah.
And then you never speak to those cunts ever again.
Yeah, it's like you're like with your wife and stuff, and first night and you're like, sorry, I used to be really good at soggy sayo. So now I'm encouraged to bust so quickly.
Yeah.
That's a
'Cause
good
I never want to
excuse.
eat cum.
Yeah. But
I'm
yeah,
so
yeah.
straight.
I've,
that I
yeah,
so
can't
straight.
I've
I
never
come
eaten
quick.
cum though.
I'm just my body just learned to come in 5 seconds.
Out of fear.
Yeah. It was a fear response.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's that's a really cool kind of guy. Yeah, the guy that is very similar to the one that at like a house party always wanted to show you those disgusting sex videos.
Totally. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
oh
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a
And,
big
like,
thing at our school.
Are those kind of guys on the dark web now?
Oh, maybe.
Because those kind of guys when I was a kid, like this is early internet.
Yeah.
But they were finding fucking like almost like bestiality type.
Oh, some of the
shit,
first shit that I looked at
Watch
on the
this,
internet
like,
was
it's like a
absolutely
fucking dog fucking a dude in a paddock or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
what? How did you find
Yeah.
it? Like, are they all on the dark?
I
reckon
think
they
I
might
think
have
so.
moved
Well, I
over
think
there.
back then everything was just together. So like you could be just looking for regular pornos on what was the internet on like Napster or whatever. And
yeah.
all the dog fucking
And
and I think it was all sort of just there.
In your pop-ups, you might just get it. Yeah, and
Yeah,
the
well, I was-
algorithm wasn't as advanced.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. We had Crispy. Crispy was our guy that told us all about sex stuff.
Yeah,
I think I've spoken about him on the...
perfect name.
Well, he's the guy when he
I'll
was...
tell you what, the fucking biscuit wasn't crispy by the time him and
No,
his
well,
mates were
he's the one who
through
told
with
us
it.
about soggy soap.
Yeah,
But his
yeah.
name was Crispy because when he was a kid, he pulled a thing of boiling oil onto his head and burnt all his hair off.
Oh my god.
So he had like
Deliberately?
no hair. He was a kid. He was a baby.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They're always trying
He's
to get
sick
at
of
the stove, eh? They're like drawn to that. They're drawn
Yeah.
to whatever's going on the top of the
Yeah,
stove.
Oh,
yeah.
every little kid would love to drown in a pool.
Yeah,
Oh,
It's like
yeah.
whenever you get a little kid around a pool, all they want to do is just sink to the bottom of it and die. They love it.
That's how you get to baby Valhalla.
Yeah, that's exactly. That must be.
Yeah.
They're obsessed with fucking drowning in pools.
Yeah.
Like when my niece was a kid, she couldn't swim, and she would just go up to the pool fence at my old man's place and just press her face against it and just stare at the pool. They love it, man. They all want to drown.
Yeah.
But
and also, the top of the stove, that's exciting for a kid.
Oh, what's up there?
What's in that pot?
Smells good.
It's bubbling.
yeah.
Mm.
Well,
Yeah.
Crispy found out.
I mean, that's fucking full on. How
Yeah.
bad did it get him? Like, was his face?
His
like
face, I
skin
remember
graft
his face was
shit?
pretty normal, but he never had hair.
Right.
And his ears were still pretty normal. I think
Still pretty bit
every now and
crispy.
then his hair would go through and there's like a couple little patches
Yeah.
at the back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
love,
don't know who
like-
nicknamed him Crispy, but he was
Genius.
he would introduce
a
himself
genius.
as Crispy.
Yeah.
Like, and a
Yeah.
hero in a lot of ways. Like, it's a beautiful thing to do, I reckon.
That's
to
real
nickname that
nature
guy
versus nurture
Crispy.
stuff. Like, of course, poor old Crispy's gonna be one of those guys that knows how to do fuck shit on the internet.
Oh,
man.
totally. But also, no, but it's like, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Because, like, he was once a kid that was looking for the, what's the most fucked up thing in that stove?
He's always been
And now
drawn to
he's-
danger.
Yeah, exactly. He's always looking for the
Yeah.
most fucked up thing he
Yeah,
can
exactly. You're right, Lewis.
find.
That's
Powerful.
That's fucking genius, man. That's why we get you
Yeah,
on
yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
hot takes like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck. I've got a lot of respect for the nicknamers of the world. Like I've got a friend called QE, and when he was in grade 3, an older kid in like grade 5, QE was at recess was just eating some cucumber, or just eating a whole cucumber, which is kind of a weird thing to
Yeah,
do,
it's
like
us.
munching on it. And this grade 6 or whatever just walked over and was like "What are you, QE or something?" And then he stuck, and he's, we're 30 now, and he's still called QE.
Yeah.
And I just think that's fucking great, to like, that's a pretty shit one. Like, it's a pretty shit story. It's got no, you were eating a
fucking
cucumber,
sucks, but it stuck.
but it's stuck.
Well, I got a mate called Sangi, and we call him that because one day we were just trying to think of like his name's Sam, and we were just like, what's the shittiest nickname you could just? We all gave each other like shitty nicknames, and his stuck.
He's
And
stuck,
we've called him
yeah.
that for fucking like 10 years.
Yeah. What an origin story for a nickname. How'd you get your nickname? My friends were thinking of what the shittest name could be, and then they decided on one.
Yeah.
Yeah, God. This poor kid that had to play in our year for sport, but he was in the year below us, but he had to play up level for sport, and this poor
Because he was
kid-
good?
No, just because of the age.
Right.
thing, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh man, that
And-
was me.
Yeah.
Fuck, it's a hard
tough.
card to
It's a
draw.
tough
You're not
place to
mates with
be.
any of them. They're
Yeah,
all
yeah,
older
and
than
you're
you.
like,
It's
let's bully
fucking
the shit out of
shit.
this
You
kid.
always feel like this low dog.
God. And he was a bit unfortunate looking, this poor kid. And someone just started calling him Chernobyl. And this poor kid was just Nobes and Chenobes for
Yeah,
4 years.
because he looked like a mutant.
Yeah,
Fuck
it's
it out.
brutal stuff.
Nobes.
Damn.
That is
Shinobi,
so
get out on the
brutal.
wing, mate. Yeah, beautiful. Now, Louis, did you have a type of fella you'd like to discuss? Or did have
You
any-
said you had something to run by us.
Nah, well, I was gonna break down like all the types of like footy players because I wanted
Yeah.
to with the shovel heads. Like I was watching AFL the other day, and there's these breeds, you know, and it's just interesting because the breed of player you are on the field,
Like a phenotype. you
it
think.
corresponds to like who you are in real life as well.
Mhm,
So like
mhm.
if you imagine you've got the shovel heads, right, and they're great players and they
Yeah.
get in there and they're great at rugby. Like they get in there and they get fucking, you know, they're like,
Would you,
you know.
would you say they're often kind of got maybe reddish hair? The
Yes,
shovel-
yeah, often like or like sandy blonde. A
sandy
lot of the time,
blonde, yeah.
often a full sleeve
Yeah.
or 2 full sleeves, and they're like these little bulldog type things,
Mhm.
and they're really good at footy. Like if you have a kid and your kid's a shovelhead, like get them out there
Get
on
him
that
down
footy,
Noah's
like
kick
100%. They'll
Immediately.
pretty much 100% success rate. Like they always make it to
Mhm.
the AFL or the NRL or whatever. They're just bred for footy.
Yeah.
Then you got these like on the wings. You got these. Then this isn't so much. I think in rugby it's like pretty much they're all shovel heads, but in footy there's these different in AFL
variations.
like on the wings you got these sort of gazelles, and they've always got long hair, and they've often got a headband.
Yeah.
I've
They sort
seen
of
these
run like
guys.
this, and they look
A
like
lot of
they're slow,
prancers
but
in
they're
the
actually
AFL.
fast. They prance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're the gazelle types, and if you watch their post game interviews, they're the sort of ones that use like bigger words and shit. It's
Yeah.
interesting. Like they're like sort of they don't think of themselves as footy players. They're like, yeah,
Bit
maybe
more
after my footy
intellectual.
career, I'll get into like I'll run a business about like some you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
They think of themselves as intellectuals.
Well, a lot of
they
them
kind
are-
of play like that too.
Yeah.
So it's interesting the way they play is sort of correlates with what breed they are, kind of thing. And then there's like these gnomes. There's these little gnomes.
Great type.
Every team sort of has 2 or 3, and if you have too many gnomes, you'll probably be a shit team. Like you want to have 2,
Yeah.
maybe 3 maximum. They're always a really accurate kick of the ball around the ground.
Yeah.
And they're really small, and
Yeah.
they sort of they sort of act like quite gnomish in a lot of ways. Like they're just sort of like, I don't know, they're just
When,
sort of like,
when they're not playing footy, they stand out in front of
They-
people's houses in the garden, stand still,
They're just
pretend
a
to be
bit-
fishing,
they're just a bit like
sitting on a toadstool.
yeah, little like you could almost
Totally.
could sort of imagine them doing that.
Yeah.
So there's them, and then there's like these like I don't know what these are called, but these galuthas, you know, and they're not.
That's what
they're-
you would be.
Exactly.
A big fucking
Do you know what
galu-
they?
a
Do you know what
big
they
fucking
are?
lout.
Actually, they're trees. And
Yeah.
I am a tree.
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
think most people are like a breed of person. And I definitely think I feel like a tree. Like I'm as slow as a tree and as fucking lumbering or whatever.
Yeah.
And when I fall down, I'm clumsy, like very tree-like.
Yeah.
So
You
and
sway around in the breeze a lot.
yeah, yeah.
Well, I see if it's a windy day, you're fucking moving.
And I just think like in AFL selection, there should be more thought given to like
A footy
what you-
phrenologist.
it's
Yeah,
like-
that's the word.
I remember the word.
phrenology.
I was like waiting to go. I was like, I got it right. I'm back. Just listening to Garnham break down.
you know,
types of
you know in Moneyball how like the guy he
Yeah.
sort of sums it all up by numbers. It's like you should have every team should have aim to have 8 shovel heads. You want to have 8 shovel heads. You want to have 3 trees. You want to have 3 gnomes.
All right, well,
you
what
want to have
about
about
this?
5 gazelles
Yeah.
or antelopes or whatever they are on the wings, and then
Yeah.
the rest can be sort of miscellaneous
This
other
sounds
breeds.
like they need
but-
like a Middle Earth expert on each.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
tell me how you feel about this, Lewis. Now, this might be taking it a step far, but with the introduction of the AFLW and a lot of good athletes coming through, what about some kind of breeding program?
Yeah, father son.
We
father.
Definitely.
we
Definitely.
could create.
Yeah.
know,
I
the
think
perfect-
smart people would be already having these conversations, Zach. I don't think you're the first to bring it up. I think there's families, there's households out in the country in Australia who are already they're getting their breeding going. And,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
we're gonna have an AFL player, and yeah, I think
Do you
it's a
reckon
smart thing to do.
It'll be cool to have the first like daughter daughter mother teams. in the
That could
AFLW.
happen when sports are young, sort of like on a professional level, like the AFLW, the NRL. You can get like crazy, weird like situations like that.
You know that's an actual thing in the AFL.
Oh,
'Cause
really?
They have the draft, but there's a bunch of Collingwood players. That's a thing called the father-son rule. So if your dad played for a club, that means you get exemption to play for them.
It's
so
a crazy rule.
It's
isn't it?
crazy,
It's
man.
crazy.
It's awesome.
It's
Yeah.
just like,
It's like
your old man was a good bloke.
Yeah.
Does it fuck
Get in
things
here.
up a lot? Like when it.
It's like
Sometimes
There's
they
still,
don't
like,
want
salary cap
the
and shit.
son, right?
that's the thing.
Didn't
Often
some
the
guy
son
in the
isn't
Lions-
as good
Yeah.
or anywhere near as good as the dad.
Yeah. Didn't some guy in the Lions just win and he could have played for the Swans or something? I don't know. There's always
I
shit
can't
like
remember.
that. Anyway,
Yeah.
But it's pretty sick. We have a different
Great.
thing in the NRL where it's called coach's son. Because there's like, at one point last year in the NRL, there were 4 coaches whose sons were in their team.
Really.
Yeah, it had a real under 10s
Whoa.
energy
Yeah,
to
it
it all.
is,
But I mean, I think-
Like,
well-
but the best one is the one that has won 5 premierships in a row. He's like, he's just got the best son.
Yeah, they're all.
They just win all the
Is his
time.
son a gun?
Yeah, the
His
Panthers.
son's-
Yeah,
yeah.
so Nathan Cleary is like the best player.
I've heard
And
of
his,
this bloke.
his dad, Ivan Cleary, is the coach.
Is he really?
Yeah.
And
but-
so is Nathan? Because my next question was, I feel like this wouldn't be the case with Nathan Cleary because he's such a gun. But
No,
like,
that's a shovel.
does the kid whose dad is the coach? Do you reckon are they getting bullied at training?
They're getting a lot of grief on the fucking online when they're not
Right,
going well.
Yeah. It's a
You
lot of
fucking
ammunition.
dad's
Of course.
fucking-
Yeah.
Kevin
You
Billy
fucking
Walters
dad.
is probably
Of
like
course.
Yeah.
the if Ivan and Nathan are like the
Yeah.
top end of the spectrum, I think Kevy and Billy might
Yeah.
be down.
It's also just like my mum
The
was a
other end.
teacher, and like I would never have allowed, and she would never have wanted to like teach at the school where I went, because it's like you just don't want that that I don't know, you just don't want to be around like your mum when she's teaching at the school. You know, and I
Yeah.
think it's the same thing. It's like I don't know, it's not healthy to have your dad fucking coaching you, and like
Well, it's been pretty healthy for the Penrith Panthers,
that's
mate.
true. Yeah.
Remember I've had that where my friends' mums were like substitute teachers and shit. And then, like, you get them for a few classes and you end up hating them. You're like,
Exactly.
Mum's a fucking bitch.
It's awkward. And then, like,
But then you go to their house on the weekend and it's all sweet.
Yeah,
like, it's like
they're not in teacher mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. yeah, it's fucking
Yeah,
awkward.
it's a nightmare.
But Cleary, is he like, has he had a few scandals? Is that how I know his name?
No,
I just know
he's
really.
he's
I mean,
dating.
that's rare. Like, so I know nothing about NRL, and basically for me, like the metric is like if I've heard someone's name, I reckon usually it's because of a
but
scandal.
he's
he must be
dating
so
Mary
good.
Fowler.
Who's
So
that?
that's he's dating the Socceroos, the really gun soccer player.
Right.
So he's got a bit of a crossover.
Right. And her mum
There.
coaches the Socceroos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's dating
Yeah.
Ivan Cleary.
Yeah. It's real Brady
They
Bunch.
met
Stepping it
because
in.
they share the same oval at the local park. And it's like, okay, guys, it's time for the girls' soccer to go. Got to share the oval. And yeah, Ivan got to pick because he raised his hand at the first. So he's like, would anyone like to coach? And he's like, oh, I'll do
I
it.
guess I'll do it.
I
I'm
played
a
a bit.
friendly guy.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll bring
alright,
the
you do
oranges. Yeah.
Yeah. Who wants to be the manager? All right, you can be the manager.
Well, this is a pretty timely conversation to have this because I think today LeBron and Bronny officially played together for the first time in an NBA game,
That's exciting.
which I think is history making.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome. He sucks, right? Fronny.
It's
He's-
that classic thing where he's not terrible,
He's
but
not LeBron.
everyone,
Yeah,
he's
for sure.
He's
But
not-
like
never
no
gonna be-
one.
How could
will
all the
be.
other players not be like?
Yeah, totally.
I mean, you just got to do it for a couple of games just to get the.
100%.
legacy in
It's
there.
awkward.
think-
Like, is he good enough to get a game if he wasn't LeBron's kid?
I think, well, maybe not. Probably not on the Lakers. I don't really know enough about it, but like, it's got to be.
It's pretty cool.
It's fucking cool,
It's,
and it's got to be so brutal for that kid. Like,
Oh man,
as
imagine LeBron's your
as
dad.
if you'd want to fucking ever do that is put yourself
exactly.
under that scrutiny.
It's like, yeah, I just wonder, like, you wonder what's going on in those walls, like, because LeBron has been saying for years that like his dream is to play with.
yeah.
his
So
son.
there's all that pressure
It's
there
like, fucking
too.
hell, that's a lot of pressure to put on a kid. Like, what if the
Yeah.
kid had decided he didn't want to play? I'm a big fan of LeBron, best player of all time in my opinion, but I reckon he might be a bit of a dick of a dad. Like, that's a lot of fucking pressure. Like,
Yeah.
to in the media to say to everyone publicly, I'm going to play NBA with my son, and then your son just being like, fuck, I guess I have to be
I have to be
pretty
good enough.
good enough to
it
play
is
for
a lot
the
of pressure.
Lakers.
I remember seeing something about when his son was playing high school or whatever. He's like, yeah, I don't use my dad's number or whatever. And he's like, I don't want to, And people are like, whoa, who's that LeBron James Jr. guy? He's not wearing number 38 or whatever.
Yeah.
That's the other red flag,
Yeah.
right? I don't trust anyone who calls their kid their name. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm a big fan of LeBron, but fucking hell,
I'd
man.
love to get to call someone Junior.
He
Yeah,
also
it would be
Oh,
sick.
Junior.
LeBron-
I get it when it's a if your granddad has the same name as you, I would be like, all right, I'll keep this
like to run
going.
it through.
right.
I wouldn't be the one.
yeah.
I wouldn't want to be the one to start it.
I
But
don't
if
think that's the case for LeBron. LeBron's got a tattoo on his back that says "Chosen One."
I mean, I think if
That's
anyone
awesome.
could fucking
I
have
mean,
that,
yeah.
it's that
He
cunt.
had it before. I think he got that tattoo before he got drafted when he was like 17 or 18, and a lot of people were like, "Fuck off, mate." And then now it's sort of like, well,
That's better.
kind of deserves.
It's
the
better to
tattoo.
have it when you're 17 than when
Yeah,
you've like already
he
won a
knew.
bunch.
He was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm going to be the
Yeah,
best
yeah.
player of all time. I'll get this tattoo.
Yeah.
I saw a video of LeBron, like all the different handshakes of LeBron, and like obviously he's a great basketball player, but it's incredible like how many. So he's got like a different for every fucking person in his life. He's got like a different little like,
Yeah,
and it's like this mashup of all of them.
that's
And
a
it's just,
team
like,
building thing.
crazy.
All
Yeah,
like athletes
yeah.
do that heaps because it's like a
I mean, it's a good like little
You get to know each
ritual and
Yeah.
like yeah.
good
Have
little
you seen
like,
his one with
Sudoku
Delhi?
for him.
With Matthew Dellavedova.
other. No, I don't think so.
They did it back when they played at Cleveland together, and then it went viral when they played against each other in the Olympics. LeBron's going through the team, and like he's doing like a bunch of fucking different ones, and he gets to Delhi, and their handshake is they get like
Kangaroo or
real
something.
formal, and they just go. So fucking good.
Oh,
It's like a big
that's
stiff
great.
handshake.
That's so
It's
funny.
real funny.
That's really
It's so
funny.
good.
That's funny.
Oh, that's
Yeah, it
great.
must be like his Sudoku version, just so he like keeps his brain sharp. Like,
Totally.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I reckon that's what it is.
I think I think they like it's big in a lot of sports teams because it's like a communication thing and like you
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
that one thing,
You got
that
a
one
connection
person.
with
yeah,
that person.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember like my teacher or something being like, and Hitler would remember everyone's names. That's really powerful too, which is so funny.
It's so funny to
He's
be like
everyone's like
Hitler did it. That's like a very common sort of
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
thing. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hitler did it. So-
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So you'd feel pretty good if Hitler remembered your name. It's like, okay, thanks, Mr. Benning. It's just something to think about.
It's weird when you look back on school and you're like, that was a weird detail that they chucked into that lesson.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
you're like, you realize like, oh, that bit wasn't the curriculum. Like that was because my teacher's a weird dude.
Yeah, well, we had that a bit.
History was always one of those a bit.
Definitely.
There was
Yeah.
always
yeah.
my favorite old history teacher is like he like filled in a bit. He's like, all right, okay, guys, we won't be looking at the textbook much this semester. And
No,
then he
can't.
stops and goes, because I wrote it. We're like, king.
Sick.
Pretty good. And then he'd finish each class. You'd be able to hand out any like Trivial Pursuit card, and if you like could get a history question he couldn't answer, he'd let you go early. He'd let us go early.
Fucking hell.
Sick.
It was
You can see
pretty
what
good.
Man,
a lot of
that's a type
teachers.
Yeah.
Can I bring
Yeah.
a type of
Yeah.
type of dude, and it is mostly men, like the teacher that is like in competition with the kids.
Yeah, yeah.
The teacher that like they're in their minds their role isn't to teach, it's to show the kids that they're better than
That
them.
they're cool.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool.
and
Yeah,
especially
yeah.
that they're cool.
Yeah.
That's what I was
Fucking-
going to say. It must be like that's why you think back now. A lot of teachers are fuckheads because it's like they get caught in that, and it's
Yeah.
like and for some it must be easy
PE
to
teachers being
impress a bunch of
threatened.
kids,
Yeah.
and like, they must just get like high on that.
Yeah,
Get
oh,
addicted
they
to
love
impressing
it. And like
kids.
they couldn't impress anyone their own age, so they have to like impress people that are like 16.
Yeah,
Like, you know, they're like, whoa, I get it, guys. Like, we used to do a few magic mushrooms back in my day as well. Like, this sort of shit. It's
well,
just
we
like,
had the wildest thing happen. Like going back and thinking about a teacher because one of our that teacher that killed those coppers in Queensland last year. He was
teacher.
Yeah, he wasn't my grade 4 teacher.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Did I know that?
Mr. Train. I don't know. I've been trying to do a bit about it on stage, but no one.
Crazy.
Everyone hates
It's hard
it.
to get on board.
Yeah.
It's hard to get him early.
Yeah, big time.
Was he a teacher at your school?
He was a fucking mad cunt. Like my one of my best mates.
This is where the bit falls down.
Well, one of my best
He's a
mates.
sick cunt.
He had like a profound effect on his life.
Whoa.
He was a great teacher with, and my friend wasn't a bad kid, but like he had a real good thing with like the little fuck up kids, and we had a lot of those at my school, and he was really good with them.
Man, they're the best teachers. They're the teachers I respect the most. It's the
Yeah,
ones that are good
and then
with
he,
those
I mean, obviously,
AKA a recruitment drive.
yeah. But we were
You
like,
got a real ability to sort of against authority, kid.
Yeah,
Stick with
yeah.
me. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it
I got
makes
some
sense
plans.
now. Like, he's like very much related to him. But when it first happened, we were speaking because he wasn't my teacher. He was in the classroom next door, but they had those like dividing walls, and that was always open. So it was like one big class with two teachers.
Yeah.
And we're like, he wasn't like. We're trying to think back, and it's like he was pretty fucking normal. He was like a good teacher. And then my mate was like, yeah, he did read us Stephen King novels, though. Like, that was a bit fucking strange. Thinking back now, we were 9 and he's reading us Stephen King.
Yeah, that's weird.
Spook him up.
Do you know, like...
It's clearly like he's like, oh, I'm enjoying reading this book myself at the moment.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Kids can read it.
Yeah.
The only book I remember from school was Holes. Fucking, that's a sick book.
Yeah, I picked that up the other day. Man, it fucking holds up.
It holds up.
Yeah, it holds up. No holes in that. It's fucking good. I love holes. But I just need to circle back.
We all love holes around here, brother.
This is big news. So
this is a pro hole podcast.
Yeah.
So did this guy, like, you might not know from, obviously, he seemed like a normal guy back then. Like, was it a swift decline into like conspiracy? You know how people get into conspiracy theories and then they go real quick? Yeah. Was he one of these types?
I'm not sure. I think as of like a few years ago, he was like a headmaster at a school somewhere.
Whoa.
And then I think he hadn't worked in a couple years, I think. And he went a bit wild there.
Hole.
And it was him and his brother and another woman. And the woman was like married or with him, but then they broke up, and then she was with the brother. It was a weird sort of situation. And where it happened is like a notorious sort of place for kooks.
Right.
Wherever it is out west in Queensland somewhere, like that one, specifically that like little town where he was, there's a lot of people out there that are living off the grid, and they're all fucking just lunatics, basically. Like my mate has to drive.
Man, North Queensland, not to like, I'm not fucking ragging on you, but when I drove through North Queensland generally, that's the energy I was sort of picking up.
You can get a lot. Especially you go. I'm pretty sure this is like southwest. It's like out past fucking Roma and shit.
Right.
But my mate, he has to drive like past there or through there quite a bit for work, and they tell him not to stop.
Yeah.
Don't stop at the servo there. Like, just fucking make sure you don't need to stop when you go through there.
Wow.
It's just fucking bit
Whoa.
wild.
Yeah, I feel like, that part of Australia is kind of like where you go when you want to disappear. Like, I reckon there's like a lot of people that are on the run, either literally on the run from like the cops or like on the run from like their lives.
Yeah. I think that's a real hot spot for it.
Yeah.
Because I think land's cheap and you can just sort of go off grid and cook up all the little theories in your mind that you want.
Get all
Cook
isolated.
up whatever you're cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get a few caravans going. Call the coppers.
That's so crazy that he was a
Set up
teacher
the
at your
bunker.
school.
So they called him out there.
Wild.
Yeah, it's fucked up. It's actually fucking so fucked up what they did.
Fucked.
They like set a trap.
Yeah.
Because I think they were looking for him or his brother or something, and he was like, like they filed a missing persons report, and then I think they called him up and said he's here, and then the coppers come out, and it was like the coppers were like fucking 23 and 24, like both young, good looking, like just started, and they fucking drew him in and then fucking shot him.
Ugh.
Yeah, I really wonder what their fucking algorithm looked like.
It's probably pretty similar to what Zack and I get on it. Ironically. We're like, this is funny. But to some, it's really hitting
for
the
some,
right
it's
notes.
serious.
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah, they're probably quite into numerology and
For sure,
figuring out what words mean.
The etymology.
Totally.
Etymology of words.
That really got to him.
Crystals, maybe.
Yeah, probably crystals.
Like,
there's a lot of asbestos in the air out there, I think, as well. I'm just making that up. There is a town somewhere. Have you heard about this town in Australia that's like they shut it down, and it's just like a ghost town now because it was an asbestos mine, and it just like you can't do that, and the whole place is just contaminated.
Yeah, that would be fun.
I can't remember what it's called.
I don't know about that, but I'm definitely fucking Googling that
We
after
should
this.
check it out, man.
I got my dog from Snowtown. Have you heard of Snowtown?
That's where the body's in the barrel.
In the barrel, yeah. And like, I tell you what, that has not been good for like the
Tourism.
economy in Snowtown.
Yeah,
That place is
fucking
like,
hell.
it's not literally shut down, but it's like, fuck, it feels like it is as close to.
Do you think it was
being
like
a
that
ghost town
before
as you-
the murders?
I think it would have been a bit like that.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about
There's
it.
no ski fields or anything in Adelaide, is there?
No.
So it's-
Yeah, I don't know why it's called Snowtown.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it would have been a bit like that. Like it's an isolated part of the world, and it's like, you know, it's north of Adelaide. You're not driving to any other major city if you're there, so it's already a bit isolated. But I reckon the bodies in the barrel really, because other towns around there they don't feel like Snowtown. When I picked up, like I bought my dog off Gumtree from someone there, and like
What were they like?
they were really sweet. They were like doing it tough. And they were like living in this trailer home thing, and they had 2 little kids, and it had the vibe of like, they had like 7 puppies, and it had the vibe when we got there, me and my dad, of like the kids were like straight away like, so are you buying one? It seemed like the kids had been told like, if we sell one of these dogs, we're getting pizza or you can get a PlayStation game.
That's
or whatever,
actually
you
brutal
know?
because most kids are like, we want to keep all the
Exactly.
puppies.
It was the opposite. They were like, can you buy one of them? Buy one. They
Like,
wanted to
buy
get
it
rid
or
of them.
It's going in the barrel.
Which is very much.
Yeah. You don't want to know.
They
what
keep
happens
putting
to
them in the
barrels.
But yeah, fuck, Snowtown.
Yeah, that is wild.
I never knew it was in South Australia. I never really thought about it though.
They're all from around there, aren't they? All
Yeah,
the
with
fucking
serial
killers.
killer hotspot.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah,
Adelaide.
sort of
It's
got
just
a name for itself.
It's just because it's so. There's nothing to do there. I get.
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah,
people-
yeah. It's well,
And everyone
it's-
says plant weird.
what is it? It's a weird. I don't know why. What
That
it is
might
about
set
it.
me off if everyone around me kept saying, "I'm gonna go get some plants."
Dance. Should we go for a dance?
Yeah, we could buy some plants and go for a dance.
Do
I'd
you
be
know
like,
what?
I'm gonna
reckon-
kill 15 or 20 of these
I reckon
cunts.
Free
like-
settlers. It's probably they've all got the genes of people that are like, I want to go over there and do some fuck shit.
Yeah.
True.
And
yeah.
lots
I
of
wanna
churchy
go
freaks too.
colonize.
I think a lot of like the
Yeah.
like a lot
I
of
was gonna
religious people
say,
went
like,
there.
it's a churchy city. I feel like that's never, that's never great.
Yeah.
There's that element, and then like I reckon, not now, but like in the 60s, 80s, all that shit, it was probably a bit like the bit of Queensland we were just talking about, in that like it was probably like this sort of place where you could run away from, like the
Well,
Snowtown
Darwin's
guy.
got that vibe.
Yeah, definitely.
You go to
yeah.
Darwin, and it seems like every cunt sort of
Yeah.
run away from something.
The guy that did the Snowtown thing, he was from Queensland, and him and like a few of his mates drove to Adelaide on a road trip, and then they were going to keep going like to WA and around. And by the time they got to Adelaide, he was like pissing them off so much that they were like, "We're not fucking taking you anymore," and they kicked him out of the car. And
Well,
then he
this
just
lends
stayed in
credence
Adelaide.
to my theory that he just got annoyed with everyone saying plant and dance and all the weird beer sizes.
Yeah,
and he's like,
no
"Fuck
4X.
this."
No 4X here.
What do you drink? Everyone's drinking Coopers over there.
Yeah, Coopers,
yeah.
mate. You
What
got
else
And
to
he
is
got
roll.
pissed off. He's like,
Give it a
these
roll.
fucking churchy
Yeah.
Coopers
Yeah.
beers. They hate
Fucking
gay
sediment
people.
at the bottom. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they deserve the barrel, these cunts. What did he... How many people
They
did he kill?
deserve the barrel is a crazy way to put it. Look, mate, you keep talking to me like that, you're going to get the barrel
Hey, you
soon.
give me a regular sized fucking beer or you're getting the barrel.
He just kept looking at the Cooper's logo and he's like, yeah, barrels. yeah, something to them.
Not bad.
Oh, shit. How are we going for time over there?
Oh, mate, we're
Huey?
looking right on the button here, mate. Beautiful,
yeah.
beautiful
You got-
episode.
You're like, when you're driving and you've got an internal, like, when you're doing 60,
Yeah.
you're like that with podcasting.
Yeah,
like,
I
you
got
just
a
know,
little-
like we've just hit that mark.
Yeah, I got a
that's
little
it.
tingle behind my eyes.
Yeah.
I think it's time to fucking park this bus.
Thank fuck we don't have to do this anymore.
Well, thanks for coming on, Lewis. Would you like to plug anything, mate?
Absolute
before-
pleasure, boys. Yeah. I'm going to fucking New South Wales and Brisbane in December. I'm doing Brisbane, Gold Coast, Coffs Harbour, and maybe somewhere else, maybe Newcastle. Anyway, if you
Sick.
Google that, if you want
what
to
are
see
you
me do
doing?
some stand up, I'm doing my show from this year, choosing the wrong story to tell. I'm just doing it in those places in
Yeah.
December, just like a little mini tour.
Yeah. Are you doing what,
And I'm
like,
doing it at Good Chat in Brisbane,
Hoda on the Gold Coast.
Hoda on the Gold Coast, somewhere in Coffs Harbour,
Yeah.
and then the Newcastle
The Big Banana.
Comedy Club. Yeah, the big. Yeah,
Go see Lewis. He's performing under the Big Banana in
I'm
December.
gonna get on top of it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be
You'll
like
swallow that thing up?
straddling it,
Oh,
yelling at people.
Just as a little bonus, that was when I was going through Europe, like in 2009. That was there was so many Europeans and shit that would take photos on cannons and statues. It fucking killed me every time.
But
It was like Albanian guys flexing and like straddling cannons.
Yeah, that's sick.
It was the sickest look.
That's great. The hairiest cunt you've ever seen sitting on the top of Napoleon's cannon.
Just straddling a cannon on a bridge. Like, get the photo. It's
Yeah,
good.
That's a sick cunt.
Yeah,
move.
yeah. So that'll be Garnham.
That's a good type.
Straddling
Yeah,
a
that's
cannon.
me.
Yeah,
That's me.
straddling
I
a big
straddle
banana.
a big banana.
What do you got
Fucking
going on, Huey? Anything, mate?
No.
Come to
All right, well,
Sleep
let's
in.
let's get Huey to bed, mate.
Yeah,
No,
good
I
energy
gotta
for
go
that,
do.
Huey.
I gotta go do improv in a second. Yeah, no. Other than that, I'll be in Brisbane for a wedding, so keep an eye out
Pop
for
along
me.
to
You
Huey's
might
cousin's
see me.
wedding.
Yep.
I'll just run out, but that's all.
Yeah. Other than that, yeah, not too much. Keep doing what you're all doing, guys.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Check out the YouTube. Look, we're fucking doing video every week
Yes.
now. Check out the YouTubes. Like, subscribe, leave a little comment. Say, hey boys, this is fucking sweet as Lewis is funny as.
Lewis looks so fucking good.
care
He
what they
looks-
say about him.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
fucking.
And he's
I
alright.
don't care about his fucking dumb TikToks, man.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
sick. Until next week.
Keep 'em up.